Hello and welcome to Drive with the DW Car Show, and this edition the new Opel Mokka with its whispered diesel engine. A vintage edition of the Toyota Corolla from 1973. Plus the new 1 Series from BMW. BMW presents the next 1 Series with a fresh design and new engines. The compact car has sold almost 2 million units since its launch 11 years ago. We check out the top-of-the-range model, which packs the powerful M135i inline-6 engine. At the other end of the engine range, we have new gasoline and diesel units with 3 or 4 cylinders. The 1 Series therefore has the broadest range of engines in the compact segment. The car was also designed to win over new and young target groups, explains BMW executive Christopher Werner. A lot of customers then move up to a 2, 3, or 4 Series, so the 1 Series is the brand's successful entry-level model. Over 70% of buyers are new customers for the BMW brand. Automotive journalist Michael Specht is impressed with the new design. In his opinion, every car needs a facelift every 3 or 4 years, and BMW has genuinely managed to modernize the car, he says. Compared to the outgoing edition, the front is really nice and sporty. Not over the top, but still very contemporary. In visual terms, the new edition looks a class above its own.
On the front, we have new LED technology, which enabled us to make the front lights slimmer. Of course, we have the typical BMW double round headlamps.
The air vents were likewise revamped.
We made the kidneys larger. This makes the front end sportier because of the larger openings. And in particular, I'm very proud of the very three-dimensionally sculpted kidney blades. The overall effect is a very strong and sporty front end.
Meanwhile, the back end is a marriage of cutting-edge technology and design.
On the rear of the car, we also have new LED lights. With this technology, we're able to make the rear lights slimmer. In particular, with the LEDs, we're able to make a very unique light signature, and it gives it a very clear identity at nighttime.
New contouring has given the 1 Series a fresh look at the back.
The horizontal lines create width and sportiness, and the flared wheel arches give it that solid stance on the road. When we see the final result, we have a very stretched, very sporty rear end with clear BMW identity.
The M135i's output has been boosted slightly to 240 kilowatts. In Germany, prices for this meaty compact model start at 41,900 euros. Although one important feature will be missing in the next generation of the 1 Series. It's still the only model in its class with rear-wheel drive, he says. BMW will keep it until this model is retired in 2018. Then the car will be available with front-wheel drive only. The interior has a sporty feel and is fitted with sophisticated materials. The sporty top-of-the-range model comes with an especially big display, of course, but the standard equipment in the new 1 Series is now also more extensive, with a high-resolution 6.5-inch monitor, aircon, rain sensor, and the iDrive control system. BMW is eager to promote its premium manufacturer image in the compact class too. The quality of this 1 Series is pretty close to that of the 3 and 5 Series, so way above average for its segment. Skoda presents the 3rd generation of the Superb in Prague. Like its predecessor, it's very practical and is chock full of clever innovations and assist systems that are meant to appeal to many drivers. Skoda is introducing its latest flagship at the Forum Karlin, one of the best-known event venues in the Czech capital. More than 500 journalists came from around the globe to watch the Superb roll out, accompanied by music from the Czech Philharmonic. Sales chief Werner Eichhorn says revamping a model has a big brand impact. It's an opportunity to make a sustainable impression and continue development. In that spirit, the new Superb has been given a complete makeover with a new design and technology. The first two generations of the mid-size sedan were big hits. The latest model is hoping to follow, and not just in terms of design, but real utility as well, such as the trunk, boasting 1,276 liters of cargo space. For head designer Joseph Caban, it's a clear combination between practicality and aesthetic appeal. As well as looking good, that's the heart and soul for designers. It should work well too. Getting that mix right is what it's all about. The automotive media is thrilled about the result, as is veteran Czech singer Karel Gott. When I speak to Skoda's head of design and see what he created, then I'm proud again that we're the country of the car. It's just like back in the beginning of the 20th century.
Autos sind wieder wie am Anfang des 20. Jahrhunderts.
People who want a Superb have 4 gasoline and 3 diesel engines to choose from. These can generate between 77 and 191 kilowatts of power and meet the Euro 6 emission standards. The Green Line engine is the most economical, explains our Skoda executive. It goes 100 kilometers on just 3.7 liters of fuel and only emits 95 grams of CO2. The most powerful unit is the 2-liter turbo with 280 horsepower. It shoots up to 100 kilometers per hour in 5.8 seconds. Clever little details, like providing 2 umbrellas in the front doors, are part of the package, as are the latest in driver assist systems. Android and iOS smartphone networking is possible too. What's important in the interior is space, space, and more space, elegance, space, and a feeling of homey comfort you'll experience in a somehow familiar way. With a combination of ambient lighting, lots of technology, and the rest, you'll be able to enjoy something really new and special, assures Skoda's design chief. The new Superb is available for order now. Customers can expect delivery in the second half of 2015. In Germany, prices begin at 28,290 euros. Peugeot has unveiled its new hot hatch, the 308 GT. It comes with a 1.6-liter turbo engine. The exterior has a more elegant than athletic feel, in fact, with a stylish indicator layout at the front and a high-gloss black diffuser at the rear. The price in Germany is below the magic 30,000 euro line. A few grand more will buy you the GT in diesel or as a station wagon. The new Audi RS3 is a far more dynamic affair. A butch-looking front grille with huge air vents make it clear this is the top-of-the-range A3 model. Hit the gas pedal and you hear the rich baritone of the 5-cylinder engine. Thanks to a 270 kilowatt engine and Quattro technology, the RS3 makes the dash to 100 in just 4.3 seconds. It goes on sale in the summer with prices in Germany starting at just under 53,000 euros. If achieving success isn't easy, maintaining it is even harder, says test driver Reinhold Deisenhofer. Opel has sold the Mokka to over 340,000 customers in the last 2 years. To further boost sales, the Mokka is now available as a whisper diesel. It's definitely quieter than many engines, he says. Opel says it's also efficient and zippy. We want to test that. Opel Mokka currently has the fastest growing sales on the European car market. Reasons for that are the modern chassis and drive technology that are key features of the SUV. The new all-aluminum 4-cylinder diesel engine is super compact. It replaces the 1.7 CDTI. It offers more power and torque with a smaller displacement area and a lot lower consumption. We showed here in our test that fuel consumption in the Mokka has gone from 4.6 liters to 4.1 liters per 100 kilometers, says Helmut Kehlert from Opel. That also affects CO2 emissions. It's only emitting 109 grams of CO2 per kilometer now. Even if the idea of anything under 5 liters for 100 kilometers sounds good, everyone knows that the manufacturer's figures are mostly lower than in reality. So the Mokka is supposed to be quiet and fuel efficient. Can our test driver confirm that? The Mokka is indeed quiet, he says, surprisingly so. In fact, I just shocked the camera team because I thought the engine wasn't running anymore and took my foot off the clutch. It lurched, but everything was okay. But that's certainly proof that the Opel Mokka really is quiet. It's also economical. Opel says an average of 4.1 liters is possible. In our test, we managed just under 5 liters. Under 5 is pretty good. The snappy 1.6 CDTI offers 4 kilowatts more power than its predecessor and 20 newton meters of extra torque. It can go from 0 to 100 km in 9.9 seconds and reaches top speed of 191 kilometers per hour. But the Mokka's greatest strengths are its fuel efficiency and low emissions. As we heard, it's also quiet. So how do you make a diesel engine so quiet? It was only possible in this case, says Opel's Helmut Kehlert, because we optimized everything, absolutely everything in the engine. From an engine block that is designed for optimum acoustics to secondary measures like the muffler on the intake pipe or the integration of the vacuum pump and the oil pump into the oil sump so that the oil and the oil sump muffle the sound of the pumps. There aren't any new design elements in the interior. Subtle chrome highlights and high-quality materials make a pleasing impression. The vehicle is also versatile and practical. You can make full use of 1,372 liters of luggage capacity thanks to the split folding back seat. The rear of the car with underride guard and matte finish aluminum is typical for an SUV. The Opel Mokka 1.6 CDTI comes with either front-wheel drive and 6-gear transmission or 6-speed automatic, or with all-wheel drive and a manual 6-gear transmission. The Opel Mokka with whispered diesel is quiet, smooth, economical, and zippy, says our test driver in summary. And it's key for Opel because 57% of customers order it with the top equipment line, which is what provides the most profit for the manufacturer. Recently, our whole team was in Geneva for the motor show, explains Emmanuel Schaefer. That meant a trip of some 750 kilometers. Quite a challenge with a team of 5, plus camera and editing equipment. Flying would have been one option, he says, and the quickest. The train would have been the most comfortable, but the problem with both of these is the restricted mobility once you've arrived at your destination. So the only real alternative, he says, was to drive. A lot of cars don't have enough room, which is where the Mercedes Vito comes in. This baby certainly has ample space. A great opportunity for our team to put the car's long-haul qualities to the test as they make their way to Switzerland from Cologne. The Vito was designed as a multi-purpose light van. Launched in 1996, it's built at the Mercedes-Benz plant in the Spanish city of Vitoria-Gasteiz, hence the name. With many cars, the front seats are the most comfortable. With the Vito, however, the second and third rows were equally good. It's so comfy, he says, that a couple of my colleagues have already fallen asleep. The whole team end up surrendering to the sleepy feel, except the driver and cameraman, of course. We were on the road in the 119 CDI edition. Its four-cylinder diesel engine generates 140 kilowatts of power and has a peak torque of 440 Newton meters. This version features rear-wheel drive. Fuel consumption is 6.1 liters of diesel for 100 kilometers. But then there's the big question: what are the Vito's strengths on the utility front? The Mercedes Vito comes in a variety of lengths and versions, as a utility vehicle, dual cab chassis with a spacious cargo section, or the Tourer people carrier. We plump for the Tourer and the compact version measuring 4.9 meters long. The exterior has a robust look, with the skirts made from scratch-resistant plastic. We begin our test with packing in a stroller. The rear seats can be shifted forward with ease, making this task child's play. It's similar with the middle seats. One pole and the entire row can be slid back and forth. And EaselFix technology allows child seats to be easily and securely fixed in place. The rear seats can be folded down individually if required. That opens up a wealth of possibilities for loading awkwardly shaped objects. The Tourer is a people carrier that's very cargo-friendly too. The front cabin has a nice, clear layout, oriented to that of the Mercedes Sprinter. The materials in this equipment line all boast top-caliber workmanship, and the technical features are also solid. All Vito models are standard fitted with a crosswind assist. The designers were looking at efficiency as well as safety. The entry price for the Vito 109 CDI panel van in Germany is 21,408 euros. The Tourer in the compact base edition with a 109 CDI diesel engine costs just over 30,000 euros. Making the round trip between Cologne and Geneva, we covered around 1,500 kilometers, he says, so the exterior suffered a little. But its performance was flawless, ample legroom, and plenty of space for the whole team. Emmanuel says he can't remember many times before having such comfort on a long journey. Florian Engel is a classic car enthusiast. He's taking something really special out of his garage in the Bavarian town of Wunsiedel near Bayreuth. It's a 1973 Corolla Levine. Toyota introduced a second version of the Corolla in Japan in 1970. A year later, the Corolla was marketed in Germany and sold 20,000 models. It was yet another success for the Japanese car industry abroad. But the Levine model, which is like the GTI of Corollas, was only available for customers in Japan and the U.S. Florian Engel's Levine is probably the only one in Germany, or even Europe. He found it on an American car forum and convinced the owner to sell him the rare model. Even though the car is a decade older than its owner, the Levine's four-cylinder 1.6-liter engine still powers it up to 108 horsepower and a top speed of 183 on the Autobahn. The Corolla's lines seem a bit odd, yet somehow familiar. It's a typical compact car with European dimensions. Some say the design is reminiscent of the Ford Escort. Others say it's more like an Opel Kadett. A few of the details are a bit too quirky. Florian says when he takes the car to old-timer events, few people recognize it as a Toyota. There's little to reveal what it is except for the old Toyota badge on the grille. It says Corolla on the side. That's when people realize what it is. The Corolla was supposed to conquer new markets for Toyota. Some say that explains its aesthetic. The curvy, fastback rear end is reminiscent of American muscle cars, downscaled just slightly. A full family of Corolla models were made, a sedan, station wagon, and a sporty two-door, known to insiders as TE27. Florian says that when he looks at the TE27, he sees that its design has been influenced by a wide range of cars. It's like that with most Japanese autos. He says the thing that makes it special is that it's a mix of all types of styles, and as a result has created something new. It's not like Italian cars that always originate their own lines, but a combination. The interior, by contrast, is quite Spartan. There are a few sporty accessories, like a rev counter, which was a contemporary feature. There's lots of plastic with a hint of chrome, nothing flashy to distract from the driving experience. The advantage of the sparse interior trim, what's not there can't break. Florian says that you really have to be passionate about Japanese cars because getting spare parts for them takes patience. There are still parts in Japan, and the American market for them is big, but Florian says in Germany it's difficult to get parts here when something breaks. Thank goodness there's very little that breaks when it comes to large series classics that are made in Japan. The Corolla Levine is robust. Florian can simply focus on the joy of driving it. Levine means lightning bolt and refers to the car's driving performance. The little car from Japan doesn't have to hide its light under a stone. It weighs 850 kilograms and goes from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 9 seconds. The chassis technology is solid. Rigid axles suspended with leaf springs were standard in compact car construction in the 1970s. The Corolla showpiece is under the hood. Two double-barrel carburetors ensure that the dual overhead cam, straight four-cylinder 1.6-liter engine purrs with power. Modeled on Alfa Romeos of the time, motorcycle manufacturer Yamaha supported Toyota in developing the cylinder head. The growl lets everyone know the Corolla isn't just cute. Florian became a Toyota fan early on. His grandfather founded one of the first Toyota outlets in Germany in 1975. Florian's dad and Uncle Friedhelm later took over the company in the 1980s. In addition to selling, maintaining, and repairing current Toyota models, Toyota specialist Friedhelm Engel has got a side job. He restores classic cars, most of them vintage Toyotas. This green Celica is about finished. It's being completely rebuilt for his own collection. If Florian has a problem or can't get a part, Uncle Friedhelm always has a solution. The area around home has plenty of sinuous roads, making it perfect driving territory for Florian Engel in his Levine. He loves going out for rides in his rare vehicle. And there's one thing the Toyota fan can be certain of. It's not likely he'll run into someone with a car like his anytime soon. In the next edition of Drive It, a compact SUV with the edges rounded off, the new Lexus NX200T. And a blast from the past. We take a 1974 VW Golf GTI out for a spin.